Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttradesolutions.com on a Friday. This is the last day of October, Halloween. Yeah, we're getting a lot of back and forth swings in the S&P. Let's get right into the charts. Again, quick reminder, I have a class coming up next Wednesday. I'm going to start the live show next week sometime. I'll be sending out uh, a bullet point on that. Let's get right into the charts. Again, subscribe to the newsletter I'll be writing this weekend. But pretty much, let's get into the S&P. I was talking to, I've been talking and writing about uh, to my members here this gap that was left on the S&P last Sunday, that was pretty much in play. Again, it technically did not fill the gap. That actually comes in at 28.27. I guess we're splitting hairs here. I mean, for all intent and purposes, I guess we keep coming into the gap and trying to move away from there. I think that still this level down here and the actual gap fill is still in play. But even in the last couple of days, we've had, bouts of selling, the bounce with Apple coming out, Amazon, obviously the big winner today. But it's been very choppy, with these big, broad swings. Um, Ultimately, I think we still have these highs in play and the gap. And then if we break through the gap, we go down to here, but wouldn't surprise me either way, whether we make a new high next week or we come down. I think we're in just a massive range, really, in the major averages. Similar here, you can see this gap, by the way, is still a long ways away, and I do think this is also in play at some point. Um, when it gets there, obviously nobody knows what's going to cause it. Obviously nobody knows, but for the time being, big whippy swings. Obviously, if you have the ability to try to catch some of these, it just kind of comes out of the blue. They get these momentum runs, and then it fades and so on and so forth. So it's um, unless you can catch some momentum here from a day trading perspective, it's been somewhat challenged. Um, Notable today, we got a VIX climbing in light of the markets kind of chopping around back and forth. This may be notable. I don't know. We'll see. 10-year yields dead in the water after the Fed meeting on Wednesday, just hanging around 410. Nothing happening in the bond market. Dollar looks like it's headed to 100. And this will be interesting to see if we actually break 100 on the dollar index. Um, Looks like it's headed there. Last time we were up here, we fell all the way back down to 97. I think this is going to be an interest rate situation. If rates do climb in the next several weeks, I think the dollar breaks out to the upside. But we'll have to see. Gold chopping around after these huge swings also from the last couple of weeks. Um, and it still, I think, still remains to be seen whether the final low, this correction. I think there's still some downside here, but in the meantime, it's been very choppy, but very, 150 point swings every day. So there's still some opportunities there for traders that want to be nimble in the futures market. Silver having some resistance at 49. This is still kind of consolidation. Oil looks like it's hanging around this 59, but very, very choppy trading. Nat gas, interesting move yesterday. We did fill that gap, also similar to the S&P. Looks like it wants to break out 417. We'll see. Obviously, it's very volatile, and this weekend could bring a gap. And in the grain markets, this has been, I've been talking about this with tariffs and the Chinese deal that they're going to buy some more soybeans. It hasn't been impressive, and it's still, I think it's still questionable. The market that's looking a little bit better from a breakout perspective is actually wheat from a long-term area here. If you take a look here on the longer-term chart, looks like it could be poised for a breakout. above the 534 area. So this is going to be a setup I'll be talking to my members about next week. Corn, nothing much there. Kind of seems to be holding this gap here, very choppy. Again, all the mega caps have reported to this date. So now you got to look forward to what the impacts of the shutdown going into next week. If we're sitting here a week from today and the government's still shut down, I think it's going to have some uh, impacts on the economy and how that translates into the stock market. We'll have to see. But overall, again, very, very rangy markets. Still, obviously, bulls are still in control as long as the mega caps uh, continue to move higher, even at a gradual pace. You can see it's kind of on a day-to-day basis. All the rest of the market, really, you got to pick your spots. We saw the worst breath day on Tuesday, where pretty much four stocks led the whole thing. I think that still continues. Under the surface, there's still a lot of chop. There's still a lot of rotation, but therein lies the opportunities to pick the right stocks. That's where the opportunities are. So we'll see what happens next week. And I think the main thing now going to be is that as the government shutdown continues, because we still need data. And the more we go without data, I think it's going to get a little bit trickier. So, in any event, sign up for the newsletter, sign up for the class I'm having on Wednesday on basic options, strategies, and also I'll be introducing the live show next week. All right, have a great weekend. Take care.